To cut down on the length of the video because it's getting rather long, I'm going to show you the path that I've already made. Our house here and the Gator, that's about 1.5 miles. But as the crow flies, straight line, that's about 1.5 miles. But to get to our house, that Gator would have to go across this pond into the creek, which goes all the way to the Tennessee River that way. He would have to go north, follow this creek, which does have water in it, up until you get to about this woods, and then it just puddles in this area, and there's not really any water in the ditch from about that point on. But what I want to show you is, how do you get across 12 lanes of traffic to even cross over into our neighborhood to get to our house? And the way that alligator would do that is using that underpass. So you can see the line measurement there. I'm going to go back into regular view, out of street view, orient to north. So it's going to spin around. Just bear with me for a minute. Getting back to this path and that underpass, we already have school children from this neighborhood back here crossing into this drainage ditch, going under the road and coming out on the other side, then scooting along to go behind Lowe's, walk through the parking lot of Sam's Club, and there's the high school. We already know there are kids doing this. They are using this underpass. That ditch is dry till about here where there is water. You can see it standing. Well, vaguely see it standing in the woods there. But this ditch creek does pass under this road. We'll go here to this. This is the drainage ditch, and there's the other side heading towards the alligator ponds. I'm just going to call them that because that's what they are. They are ponds that are filled with alligators, and you can't swim in them. So basically, they could go, this is a retirement community here. There are people that come out and they smoke. They have to be off grounds. They come out here in their wheelchairs and sit at this creek and smoke. Okay. That drainage ditch goes all the way around to behind the high school, where you start picking up the ponds. These are the established ponds that have been there for years. We already know there are alligators in there. So this creek, which goes all the way to the Tennessee River, comes behind those ponds. There, the Department of Natural Resources got onto some kids that lived in this neighborhood right here, and told them they don't want them paddleboarding on that pond anymore because there is a known alligator in it, about an 8-footer, and people have been feeding it, so it's gotten used to people and it's approaching people now. This creek is only, no, how far is it? We'll do a line measurement. And we got it in miles. It's only 0.1 miles, but let's do it in feet. 740 feet. Yards, 200, about 2.5 football fields. Fully capable. An alligator is fully capable of walking that distance, especially when it can cross another pond. The nature trail goes from, there's a little parking area here, goes right, follows this creek for a little ways, and then it cuts off. This is where we saw one before, and the smallest pond in the whole complex. Nature trail comes around this way and then goes by this pond. Now, I've posted on Facebook before how beautiful this area is. I love walking back there. It's really gorgeous. You got to keep your head on a swivel a little bit when you're out there. It's wide open. It looks so closed in and so close, but when you're on that trail, it's so wide open. You can see everything underneath these trees. The leaves are 50 feet up, so you can see the trunks and everything on the floor of the forest. And there's no danger of getting bitten or anything. I have heard when I came around this way, a gator jump in the pond from about this area somewhere here, and I suspect they have what's called a gator pond, a gator hole rather, and that's where they dig down in the bed of the pond, and it creates a cool spot for them to go down and cool off if it gets too hot. I suspect that these gators are getting overheated because we've been in a bout of about 100-degree weather here lately, and they can't escape it, so they come out to the top. And I don't know if the air cools them then at that point, or if they're basking, but that's about where I saw that alligator from. So as you can see, to get to our house, we'd have to go all the way upstream, and then it dries out somewhere along in here. Go under the road where the kids use to cross that highway. There's a big ditch that runs all the way across here. We have seen otters in this ditch, so it's not beyond the realm of possibility. And this is our house right here. Oh, there's Kai. Wrong picture. That's our house. But as you can see, it would be nearly impossible for an alligator to come that far. They're cold-blooded and they have to regulate their body temperatures, and there's not enough water up here for them to do that. So I don't think we'll ever see one in my neighborhood. In these neighborhoods, oh yeah. The ones on the pond, yeah, definitely. And as I said before, this creek, just go follow it with the cursor here. This creek goes all the way to Tennessee River, where the DNR, Department of Natural Resources, released a bunch of alligators into the Wheeler, I forget what they call this, Wheeler. They released them into this area right here because they were afraid that the Wheeler, there's Wheeler. They were afraid that these alligators, they brought in about 50 of them and released them into this area. They were afraid that they were going to become extinct because they came from South Louisiana, and the population there, they claimed, was in danger because one good hurricane would wipe out the population there and they would become extinct in South Louisiana. Who cares? Why? Why did you bring them here? Yeah, they've been here before, from what I understand. They're indigenous to this area, but through hunting and property management and development, they've wiped out the population that used to be here in North Alabama. So the idea was to reestablish them here. Yeah, well, they reestablished them all right. As you can see, they're far from where they were released. That's a long ways. They come all the way upriver into the waters of South Huntsville. all these ponds. It's the most water in Huntsville is in these ponds. This is Redstone Arsenal right here. Redstone Arsenal itself is nothing but a big swamp. This is all swamp. Here's the new high school right here, right across the street from the high school. That is a swamp. The third house in. 1, 2, 3. Kids were playing in the backyard down by the swamp. 2 kids and their dog didn't even know the gator was there, and it took the dog, a golden retriever. And the kids didn't even know it was there. That made the news. The high school is right here. So as you can see, gator here, right across from the high school. They're surrounded by gators. So what do you think Grissom High School's mascot is? Grissom High School. It's the Grissom Tigers. I think we missed an opportunity there. Grissom Gators would have been more appropriate. Just saying.